Well, you're just trying to cheat the system.
You know, the thing is,
that was surprising.
Fully woman when you give birth, when you're going through all that.
As a transmaxer, you don't have to necessarily worry about those things, so you get all of the
But
benefits.
you took only the you take only the good parts.
I thought Julie would have a real issue with this. I thought they'd have a problem with Sammy's motivations. It felt like Julie kind of saw this as just part of Sammy's journey, and whatever they choose to describe it as long as it makes them happier, that's kind of the goal. The reality is they're doing this for what a lot of people would say are really kind of problematic, kind of calculated reasons. Maybe Sammy is just going through a transition, and this is how they've chosen to deal with it.
Nice one, Einstein.
I can say I'm only more confused than I was at the start. Personally, don't know how to take it.
Also, notice how he keeps. I don't want to go full like woke right here, right? Like so early in the video, right? But like, just notice how he calls all the trans women they them, and he doesn't call them she's.
Thought they'd have a problem with Sammy's journey and whatever they choose to describe it as long as it makes them happier. They're doing this, how they've chosen to deal with it.
So they're just like a low-key dog whistle that, like, you know, y'all assist with. Hey y'all, today I am talking with Sammy. She was in this documentary about transmaxing, and she has some stuff to say, so I'll just let her talk. Hello? How's it going?
Yeah, good.
That's good. Yeah, so, I don't know, what time, you're in the UK, right?
Yeah, I am.
So have you had a good day? It's like towards the end of your day, right?
I mean, I've kind of slept through most of it. I was out last night, drowning my sorrows after that. Yeah, after I've been butchered.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about that? How did that make you, or, yeah, so like, do you want to just talk about your experience with it, I guess?
Yeah.
And like, how did it make you feel? What was it like shooting? Like,
I mean,
all of it, I guess.
I understand that there's going to be a bit of fuckery with like editing or whatever. Maybe make it a bit more sensationalized and like short and snappy. But there was so much that they cut out that yeah, it really didn't paint me in a very good light, and it didn't really dive into the transmaxing space at all.
Yeah.
And you know, they kind of attributed the beliefs of the manifesto like as if I was consumed in an ideology, which, you know,
Yeah.
like I used that server as a resource, and I agreed with some of the things in the manifesto, but it wasn't like I didn't consider it like my trans Bible. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's just kind of crazy. Like, yeah. Don't worry, Ryan.
Yeah. Well, so what was that? I don't know. Like, what was it like when they reached out to you? Or like, what was that process like? How did you get in contact with them? Like, what is that story like? Did they like,
So they sent a researcher into the transmaxing server, and then they
Mhm.
just reached out to a couple people, and I agreed to an interview.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like
And
they
did,
asked some like preliminary questions. I think the researcher had a much better understanding of like trans people
mhm.
than the actual presenter did. Um, yeah, they just seemed like way more informed and way more willing to listen, which is, if anything, counterproductive if you're making a documentary. But yeah,
Yeah. So when was that, I guess? Just for like the timeline.
Joe, I'll have to check. Give me a moment. Um, bear with me. Oh, there we are. That uh was the September, like yeah, September time.
September.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, September last year. Yeah,
And that was when like the researchers contacted you. And then when did you like, I don't know. You
actually, film it.
so like, yeah. And then how did you like, I don't know. How did you know you got picked? Like what was the, I don't know, like what was the process of just, I don't know, the whole
I
thing?
think it's because I was the only person available for the interview that they picked me. I mean,
Really?
well, it's a UK-based company, so they needed someone from the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So like,
Well, I mean, I
I
guess
should
it's
have,
like it's not very fair, but they could have maybe picked someone that was a bit more of a basement dweller to paint this idea of incel them or whatever.
Yeah.
I just feel like they tried to shoehorn me into this caricature, but luckily I think a lot of people see through it. So
Yeah, I think they do as well. I mean, the comments on the YouTube video are they're what
they're
you would
hit and
expect from
miss.
a video
Well,
like
they're hit and
this.
miss. They're like some old boomers that just don't get it.
Yeah, there's a lot of old boomers there, but I don't know. I feel like you're right. For the most part, people are seeing through it. And you and I talked about it a little, but I feel like it's really messed up how he even went out of his way to ask another trans woman what she thought, just to like try and like catch you, I guess, catch you in
Mm,
the trap. And then she was like, "Oh, I think it's a good thing,
see?
it's good to like explore." And then he was like, "Well, I still think it's bad." Like, why'd you even ask her in the first place?
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, it's just very like transparent. He's trying to cause drama when there was none.
Yeah. Could you tell that in person? Like when he was there with you?
I could tell he was
Or
trying
was
to
he
be
like nice to
provocative.
your face?
Well, he was trying to be provocative, but I thought that was just like part of being a presenter. But
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't really know how it all be cut together and like because again, like I said, there was a lot that they just didn't include, like the older trans lady that we spoke to, she does like charity things for trans people, and you would have thought like then at
Yeah.
least include a little bit of that if it's meant to be like supporting trans people. Why wouldn't you make people aware of like the support networks that are available,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or even the server itself? Like they make it sound like some underground drug ring, when actually it's just a really helpful resource if you don't want to go through the NHS to get your trans care. You can find private
Yeah.
solutions there that are affordable. And it's like a lot of people thought, like, oh, also it's interesting that they didn't include like the fact that I rented the house that I was staying at. Like they didn't
Mhm.
specify, like, because people just assumed it was like my parents' place. Um, uh,
Oh my
and they didn't mention
gosh.
the fact that, like, I work. Like, they put, "Oh, I don't want to work 70 hours a week." The reason I said that is because I have worked 70 hours a week, but they didn't say that.
Yeah.
So,
So they were really trying to paint you as this like neat
yeah,
incel that
exactly.
like,
Neat. Yeah, yeah. Just some, yeah, not
oh
good,
my goodness.
man.
That's actually I don't know. I didn't realize just how poorly they had like painted you into like talking to you. So, wow.
Well, yeah, I think, yeah, well, that's kind of why I agreed to this because, yeah, they really did me dirty.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. And then are we allowed to talk about the NDA stuff? Like you mentioned that they like already broke it and that like they are not even holding up to their side of the and I
Well,
can always cut.
the way that they broke contract is we had a verbal agreement that they would include
Yeah.
me in the editing process, and they just didn't. Like they said they would show it to me first, make sure it was acceptable before putting it out
Yeah.
there, and they didn't. So,
I will. I
well, yeah, no,
promise.
you
I
you do,
will make
yeah,
sure.
but you actually have a shred of integrity from what I've seen.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, it can't get any worse from here.
I mean, I guess that's true. I guess that's
To be
true.
fair, it could have been worse. It could have been worse, but yeah, it wasn't great.
Yeah. How do you I don't know. Like how do you well, actually, I should have started with this. So I'm sorry for not starting here, but like do you want to just talk about yourself a little bit? I guess like who are you, right?
Yeah.
Like they tried to paint who you were, but like who are you according to you?
Well, I'm Sammy. I'm a person. That's about it, really.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they riff on me saying I'm not a woman. The reason I say that is because
Yeah.
I identify as non-binary, but they don't specify that. They just assume that I'm a cis person doing an
Oh
impression
my
of
gosh.
a woman. And it's like
That is so annoying
that
actually.
context is so. I mean, maybe they don't consider non-binary people as a valid identity. Like, if you're gonna do that, say that. But to just omit it
Yeah.
and not include it, it's just like a really key piece of context.
That is like, oh my gosh. That I don't know. Like you said, if you don't believe in it, I don't know. I at least can respect the people that will call it out and be like, oh, and this person identifies as a non-binary, which is like not real, which like, you know, I disagree with
Yeah,
it, but
yeah.
I can respect it when they do that. But when they're like, oh, this person says that they're not a woman, but then you just like assume, oh my God, oh
Yeah.
my God,
Yeah, it's messed up.
that's frustrating. I can't, oh my gosh. I want to say I'm surprised, but I'm
No,
not.
I'm not. I'm not.
There's another person I know that that guy actually reached out to as well. Her name is Tina. You might have seen her channel. It's like El Amato. It's like
Yeah.
another transmaxing channel. Um, he reached out to her as well, and then he told her that she like wouldn't have any say in the editing room, and that's why she didn't do it because she
Oh.
didn't like that.
Oh, they
So
yeah, yeah, that's
maybe that's why
probably
he
why.
told you yes.
Hmm.
What a jerk.
Yeah.
Y- Yeah. I I don't even know where to like. I don't know. Are you going to like follow up with it? Like, can you even take any action, or are you kind of just like stuck because you
I'm
like
basically
signed away?
stuck, but I don't care. They can sue me if they want.
Yeah,
Fuck it.
yeah.
You know,
Have you had any like?
like they can't say that they support trans people and they're like, openly supporting pride and things, and then sue a trans person for thousands of pounds for calling them out on transphobia. So,
True, true.
yeah, it's either you have the political social high ground or you don't.
Real, real. Ah, I don't Oh my gosh, that's just so. I don't know. I'm just frustrated. I wish that journalists didn't do this repetitively to this community.
Yeah. I mean, I literally took the interview because, I wanted to be a voice for trans people, and then it
Yeah,
just ended up backfiring quite bad. Well, I don't know. Um, I think the backlash, and like the bad reception has only helped it, in a way. It's
yeah.
such low effort, bad journalism that, yeah, people clock onto it.
True.
So in a way, it's good.
Yeah, I agree with that. Would this deter you from doing interviews again in the future? Or not interviews, but like documentary style interviews or like
Just to be more aware, really. I
yeah.
mean, I tried to be very careful with what I said. It's just they didn't include anything. I think that's why I didn't really talk that much. It'd be interesting to break down the numbers and see how long I am actually speaking in the documentary compared to like how much the
Yeah.
presenter is talking. Because I feel like he does most of it. I mean, sure, I'm quite
I
stoic in
feel
my
like
answers, but
yeah, he really like I've only seen it one time and I just found it like this morning, so I haven't done the deep dive analysis that I should have, but it does seem like he kind of just tries to paint this picture the whole time, and you're like a pawn in his story rather than like a real person that he's trying to like demonstrate, if that makes sense.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, look at his other
Yeah.
documentaries. They're all really like
What else
kind
is
of like that.
what else has he made?
He did one on like male escorts, which is probably like the fairest one he's done. And then,
Mhm.
yeah, a couple more. It's Zanland Films is the company, so you can have a look there.
Mm. What would you want to say to people if I don't know?
Yeah, I'm a non-binary person. I'm not trying to be a woman because I'm not a woman. And that testimonial who's reading out, that wasn't my testimonial. That was just someone's testimonial. I don't have a 2.7-inch penis.
Just some random person.
Yeah, yeah, and like without the context, you'd think it's literally what it opens with. It's
Oh
like,
my gosh. Wait, wasn't that in the manifesto?
I mean, it is, but it's not me.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
But like, there's so many,
What do
there's
you
there's so many testimonials. I think like well, yeah, it's 90 pages long now. You've got
Yeah.
90 pages, and you're gonna choose that little short segment.
Yeah. W-
How is that representative of the trans community, or at least even the
Yeah.
transmaxing community? We're just gonna take one thing. Yeah, it just like 20 minutes wasn't enough. It wasn't enough.
I agree. I do agree completely that they didn't give it the time, but I feel like even if they did give it the time, they wouldn't have. It still would have been bad. Like they still would have portrayed it in a really ugly light. I don't know. They probably would have brought some TERFs in to talk about it, give their thoughts on it.
I mean, I would have liked
Oh my
that.
gosh,
I would have liked the beef, really.
it would have been funny.
Yeah, yeah, it would
It
have
would
been
have
an
been
experience.
humorous.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I was a little bit
yeah,
disappointed how supportive Julia was of me. I mean, yeah, you know, I appreciate the support and everything, but yeah, I
yeah.
was hoping it could be.
But you wanted a little bit of beef,
Oh
right? Like
yeah,
that's
just
kind
a
of
bit,
fun.
you know. Yeah. Well, I think it would have
Oh my
shown that
gosh.
I was actually like passionate about trans people, like cared
Yeah,
about people, and that would come across no matter which way they slice it. But
yeah.
yeah. Well, yeah,
And instead,
that's why I didn't talk in that entire segment. I was just sat there drinking coffee. They just didn't include what I had to say at all.
oh my gosh, yeah, yeah. Because it did kind of, I don't know, she agreed with you. So then the comments were like, oh, look at that, just watching out for one another. And it's like, well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really see any reason why. Well, they have issues with everybody transitioning. So I don't really, I don't
Yeah.
really care what they say about specific reasons for why people transition. But I guess I want to get your thoughts also on like online communities like this. Yeah, I guess can I ask about your experiences with online communities like this? Like how did you end up in these spaces? Like what have your experiences been like? Pros and cons,
Um,
you know, just the
well, yeah, I mean, I'm not really like online that much. Um,
yeah.
I mean, I mostly joined that server for like, well, yeah, as I said before, like medical care, um, being able to get it privately without going through GPs and the NHS and just a bunch of bureaucracy and trying to like prove
Mhm.
my existence to someone. That's just not something I was interested in. I'd rather just pay the money. Um,
Yeah.
but also like, you know, like being a bit more clued in on like fashion and how to dress yourself well. I feel like that's quite important. If you're gonna transition, you gotta learn how to dress. Otherwise, yeah, you gotta have everything going for you, you know, while your body's still
Yeah.
getting there. Like
Yeah.
you know, it's stuff that flatters your figure or like yeah, shows the best bits of you.
Yeah. And it's really hard to like figure out how to dress. At least it still is really difficult to like figure out like what is fashionable, I guess. And like figuring out like all the things that I didn't learn for the first majority of my life of like
Yeah,
how to exist, I guess.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I think once you get the fundamentals, you can then go into your own style. I mean, my style is quite eclectic, anyways. But
Yeah.
yeah, provided I knew the fundamentals, I could then go and do my own thing. But yeah, before
Yeah.
then, I really had no idea how to dress. I mean, that could be kind of
Yeah.
shown by like my pre-transition clothes that they show off. They're just flannel shirts and jeans. It just had no real like personal flair to them. I feel like that was
Yeah.
missing. Like, I guess that was kind of like one of the um. I mean, at the time, I didn't know it was dysphoria, but I guess it would be. That was something I've always felt that was missing from my image was like personality through my clothes. And
Mhm.
I just felt like, I mean, might be more a statement on like male fashion than it is like my own identity. But yeah, I just felt like um, I couldn't put myself across in what I wore. It was very
Yeah.
stale, very safe, um, almost repetitive. Yeah, just not me.
Yeah. It's very like conformative in a way
Yeah,
of
yeah,
like
yeah. I was like, literally, it's funny. They paint me as someone who's trying to do an impression of a woman, but I felt like I've been trying to do an impression of a man most of my life.
real. Oh my gosh. I remember being younger, like Googling all this stuff, like how to act like a man, how to be a man, how to dress like a man, how to like I don't know. So I agree with you.
Yeah,
Like, oh
I
my
just read
gosh.
Jordan Peterson, which was not a good idea.
I didn't even read them. I just watched them on YouTube. Or my algorithms fed them to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh. I eat them up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
No,
Just kidding,
I
just
did
kidding.
actually like his book. His book helped me to transition. One of
Really?
his rules for life was treat treat yourself like someone you take care of at the hospital. Like someone you're literally responsible of that's dying.
Yeah.
And that was
I
and I
like
was and I
that.
was like, Well, yeah, if I don't transition, then I'm not getting the care that I need. So
Real, yeah.
yeah,
Based.
yeah,
Based Jordan Peterson.
yeah,
You know, I
yeah.
didn't think I'd be saying that
Broken
right
clock.
now, but
Broken clock is right twice a day.
real. Oh my gosh. So do you spend a lot of time, or did you spend a lot of time in the transmaxing server?
A little bit, yeah. Well, I got HRT in April last year, so
Oh, nice.
yeah. So since then, more or less.
Yeah. How have you been liking that? Or like, how has that like experience been for you?
Um, Expensive.
Because that's what 10 months at this point, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's been okay. Yeah, getting like blood work and things, that's been like a hassle. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so like working on getting my dosage up, but in terms of like accessing it at a base level, at surface level, yeah, it's been okay. I'm glad that there are like avenues open. Like I know some people have to like um have it imported from places.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they really struggle to get it. So yeah, I'm fortunate that I'm in the place that I'm in.
Definitely. Um, I guess I'm curious, are there any other like online spaces that you have found like valuable or like I see that you're in Trannerland as well, and I'm gonna ask
Yeah.
Lyra before I include this part because I always want to promote it, but she always tells me not yet. But anyways, I guess I'm curious, like, are you part of any other online communities that you found helpful, that you found like valuable? I don't know. I just like to like make things
Um,
known so that other people like listening can like, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. I mean, most of my um trans social network, I guess, would be face to face as opposed to
Hmm.
online. I mean, I've like spoke to individuals who have reached out and like Reddit as well. Like I wouldn't credit a specific subreddit, but like I was, spoken
Hmm.
to people in DMs and things. Um, but yeah, I'm not really one for group spaces, so yeah.
Yeah.
Just because like it's a lot of maintenance. Being active
Yeah.
in like a bunch of servers. I may be active in like 3 or 4 at most.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Y-
I only just joined Land actually. Yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah, yeah. Well, a friend of mine was in it that I knew from the TRANSMAXXING server. They thought, well,
Survivor.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. So, well, yeah. Well, I wanted to put my side of the story across because apparently quite a few people were
Yeah.
upset about it, and I
Really?
couldn't really have that.
Well,
So,
yeah, I can definitely understand why people would be upset
well,
about it.
yeah, no, I can understand if you took it at absolute face value, but if you take Channel 4 at face
Yeah.
value, I have to kind of question your intelligence just a little bit.
Yeah. You're calling out a lot of people, a lot of your friends.
Well, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
mainstream media can't be trusted anymore. Like, it's not been trustworthy for
true.
like years. So how is this any
True.
different?
You can't well, you can't trust anything you see anymore. Have you seen the Sora videos? The like AI videos?
Yeah, what, like them just completely making up sources and things?
No, 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 no. Oh my gosh. Are you on a computer right now?
I am.
Can you look up Sora? Sora?
Yeah.
Google will bring you to exactly what I'm trying to get you to see.
AI model that can create realistic and imaginative scenes from text instructions. Wait.
Look at them. They look so real. Oh my god. Well, like they're like
They're a bit
uncanny
hyper-real.
valley,
Yeah, they're a
but
bit,
it's all AI generated.
yeah.
Text to video.
Yeah, I mean, they're not bad. Um, I mean, you can kind of tell. It looks like a very photorealistic game as opposed to like actual real life footage. But maybe that's just because I've
Yeah.
got an eye for it.
No, but somebody typed in a sentence and that is what generated.
Yeah. No, well, yeah.
That's crazy. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Oh my gosh. I don't remember why I
How can
brought
you
that
use
up,
it? Can
but
I use it?
No, 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 no.
Oh, well,
No, it's not released to the public yet.
oh, well,
No, it's not released to the public yet. And Sam Altman said that they only released that in order to get the public to freak out and like push a government response to AI, because they want to pull the ladder up now that they're up there. But, anyways, not to get into the weeds of AI stuff.
yeah. Well,
Oh
well, I
gosh.
imagine like, yeah, that's it's a similar thing with this documentary whereby they make trans people look like a spectacle, in order to take away support from trans people. Like they expose people to it as a guise to be like introducing people and giving people a voice, and then yeah,
And then they lie completely, and they
yeah,
completely misrepresent the people, and then they just misdirect the story. So like that's
yeah.
actually so accurate. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Oh my gosh. Let me see. I'm trying to think of any other questions I have. Is there anything else? Have they like reached out to you at all? Or is there any like follow up? Is there like a part 2? I don't know. Like,
They'll give me an IMDb credit. That's it.
are you gonna take it?
Yeah, hell yeah. Career's a career, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
I'm a
yeah.
production designer, so yeah, I'll take any film credit I can get. People are gonna ask me what I've been
Yeah.
doing for the last like 3 years since university. I'll be like, well, yeah, been doing trans things.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about that? Like your job, your personal life
Well,
at all? I don't know.
yeah,
Like this
yeah.
is kind of like an interview. So
Um,
like,
sure, yeah. So I have like a retail job at the moment.
mhm,
Yeah, try and work as much as I can so I can afford surgery and things.
yeah.
Like I want to get FFS at the end of this year. But we'll see. We'll
Mhm,
see how that goes. Um, yeah, and then in terms of like what my aspirations are in terms of my career, like once I've learnt to drive, I want to like potentially move to London and start, yeah, getting into like art direction, um,
yeah.
for whether it's films, whether it's events or anything really. If it needs decorating, I'm there. I can design it, I can make it,
Base.
paint it, I don't mind. But yeah, um, well, yeah, that's what I'd like to do. We'll see if I get any work with all this damn controversy, but
Hey, maybe all this controversy will help you get work.
well, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But it could put you in front of the right eyes there in London.
Well, yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Hopefully, not too many of those people are watching a documentary like this. But
Well, yeah, you'd hope not.
yeah. Is there anything you want me to link for you, or like I don't know, any like pages or like social media website? I don't know. Some people like to have stuff linked to, and then like other people don't, and they like to be like as anonymous as possible.
Oh,
Um,
I mean, I was thinking about starting a YouTube channel, but kind of documenting like not only my transition, but the things that I've learned that it'd be
yeah,
worth knowing, kind of like a crash course, I guess. Um,
you definitely should.
yeah, yeah,
YouTube needs more trans creators, definitely.
yeah, like a lookbook or something.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um, yeah, and then like how I got my trans care and everything, because yeah, the wait time is like 4 years to be seen by um the gender related clinic in the
yeah,
UK, and for a lot of people that's just too damn long. So
that's incredibly long.
yeah, but then I have like a minimum wage job and I can afford trans care, so it's
Yeah,
anyone can do it. It's just they might need like a bit of encouragement or just like to know what the figures actually are to go through
yeah.
with it.
Agreed. You should definitely do that. And I'll link anything that you want me to below. So if you don't have it already, like whenever you make it, I'll link it. So like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, that this is not like a time limited offer. We're friends on Discord now, so you can just ping me whenever. But
yeah.
yeah. Uh, I'm trying to think. I don't have any other specific questions. Do you have anything that you wanted me to ask you, or anything that you want to say, or anything that like
Hmm.
anything miscellaneous here?
Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Yeah,
Anything you
I'm
want.
kind of concerned what like my family thinks.
Yeah.
I kind of briefed a couple of them on it.
What did they say?
Well, yeah, I mean, they're quite clued in. They kind of
Well,
know the
yeah,
crack
yeah.
with like Channel 4 journalism and things. So they kind of know, and like, I mean, they're upset about it, but um, yeah, well, yeah, they were very supportive. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's the older family members who don't really like see it like that, who don't really have that perception of um what they show and what they don't show, Yeah,
Yeah.
who are gonna take it more at face value. Yeah. Or
Yeah.
especially like not necessarily them being offended by it, but like people they know and then having to deal with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Has that happened? Has there been any? I know it's only been out for 1 day, so it's
Yeah.
not like
Well,
there's been a lot of
I'm
time.
bracing for it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely good to get ahead of it, and that's really smart of you to do. But I'm curious if there has been any like real life pushback. That's like the weirdest way I can phrase it, but like people in your IRL that have like talked about it at all, or like people like has it made its way through the internet to you in real life again? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I know what you're
Does the
saying. I know
question
what you're
make sense?
saying. Not yet, but I figure it will. So I've told everyone I care about it, and
Yeah,
then if anyone else finds it, then they can find it, you know?
yeah,
Yeah. Cool, there's gonna be like a whole bunch of awkward interactions. Like
yeah.
I transitioning to help improve your social life, and now I've like burdened it with with this. Oh,
No,
yeah.
that's actually really ironic. But it's funny in a way that like yeah, that is kind of what happens. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's always the social pushback. It's not even oh my gosh, it's not even your fault. It's the fact that everybody else has to freak out about it, right? Like,
Yeah, or they just have no real interest in having a conversation with me.
yeah,
They'd much rather just take Ben's word for things, or at least not even Ben's word, but like the message that the production has.
yeah.
Yeah, like that unwillingness just to dig a little bit deeper. Um, yeah, it's not really like commonplace anymore, at least for like the older generation.
Mhm. I definitely agree with that. There was a comment that I saw under the video where it said something like I'm trying to remember, so
I
that's
mean,
why
we
I'm
can
like
go through the
in the air.
comments if you want. That would be quite funny.
Okay, we could. Let me here. I'm gonna screen
I
share.
mean, I have been replying to a couple of them.
Okay, okay. Wait, if you're on a computer, can you screen share?
Um,
Because that way my OBS can
yeah,
still get
yeah.
everything.
Just
Okay.
let me close a few tabs here. Um,
Also, that's what CraigBot is. CraigBot is the audio recording.
what's that?
So it's like separate audio tracks. So I can send those to you if you want, but I figured I'll
That's
just
a
send
good
you the
idea. Yeah. Can you not isolate
yeah.
those in OBS, or is that our our own or like individual audios?
It's individual audios. Because if I did OBS, I could get my mic and then Discord. So like technically it could work in like a technical way, but CraigBot it isolates my audio and your audio,
Oh, that's
so
good.
that
Yeah. So you can mix
yeah,
it in post as opposed to mixing it live. Yeah. Okay. That's
exactly,
smart.
yeah. And it lets me mess with the audio levels separately, so that I don't have to go through and like chop mine up versus yours up, and then like only like lower one and then increase the just accept yeah. But
That's a good little gadget.
they don't do audio or don't do video. So
Hmm.
that's what OBS is for.
Oh dear. I'll just get to the ads and then we can go through with this.
Yeah. Okay. And then were you able to screen share?
Yeah. This one. Open. Hmm. I'll just have to use my whole screen, I think. That's fine. Just need to not show anything odd. That's fine. Cool. Yeah. Can you see that? Right?
Yes.
Yeah. I thought this one was quite good. I don't know if you've seen Mitchell and Webb, but
Mm-mm.
it's basically a sketch where they have a child with a literal bum for his face, and it's like trying to
Yeah.
be like sympathetic, but it's like satiric. Um,
Mm.
yeah. um, just kind of making out like I could probably find it, but I don't know, copyright and things.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Can I ask a question just about this?
sure.
What does it feel like having like become like I don't want to say sensationalized online overnight, but like yesterday this was posted and today it's gotten 40,000 views. It has 500 comments. Like what does that feel like for you?
Um, I mean, you know, like I've one successful YouTube video on my gaming channel. I've had like a lot
Mhm.
of people comment before on me, I guess, and my work, but having it like,
Yeah,
but it being personally about me, yeah, it does hit quite different. Then again, I have quite thick skin. I wouldn't have agreed to do this kind of interview
of course.
had if I hadn't like have that quality. Um, Yeah, and I'm a bit annoyed that the interview makes out as if I'm not like sure about myself and whether I'm not like a real trans person or whether it's authentic or whatever. And then like Ben says at the end, "Oh, I think they're a trans person, but they just don't want to admit it." Blah blah blah. And it's just like, if you actually included what I said, you would know that. You know?
Yeah. The whole point of this is that like you're just becoming trans, right? Like it's like this
Well, yeah.
other way that you like decide to transition, but you're still a trans person at the end of
Well,
it.
yeah. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. There were trans maxes in the manifesto that were like
Yeah,
claiming to be cis people that are just transitioning, but it's like,
but
but
they're still transsexual at that point. Like
well,
they're still trans.
yeah, how you can't be that cis if you're willing to literally change every aspect of your body to
Real.
suit
That's so
this.
real.
I mean, whatever gymnast, yeah, it's like they made it out as if I'm the one doing the mental gymnastics to become a woman, when actually it was the people in the manifesto doing the gymnastics to say they're not trans.
Yeah.
But yeah, but a
Yeah.
lot of people like that's just easier for most cis normie people to understand. Is that the trans person is a freak, not the cis person. But
Yeah.
yeah,
That's annoying though. Okay, let's go back to
um, some
yeah, I
people.
just wanted to ask because I was like reading all these and I'm like, oh my gosh, if these were all about me, I don't know. It would like it would be so strange to me to like I
Joe,
don't know.
Joe, a lot of people thought I was trolling.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I am autistic, but I don't ever really use 4chan. I mean, I like a couple times, but like, yeah, I'm not like an
Yeah.
avid 4chan person. But yeah, they seem pretty like strong on that. Um, hmm, damn, that hits hard, man.
Oof.
uh, Mr. Mark completely his immediate judgment and negative perspective, his dubious know-it-all nature means he doesn't even
Yeah.
scratch the surface of his subjects. He pushes them away with his skepticism. Hope to see someone new taking these documentaries on moving forward.
That's so real. Ben actually is a piece of shit. Ben, if you're watching this, I hope you know that you're a piece of shit, and I hope you go to hell. I don't even believe in hell, but I hope you go there.
Someone's like, yeah, always feel as though he's positioning himself above these fringe individuals. Think these topics would be so much more suited for a more neutral curiosity. Um,
Oh my gosh.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, it came across as really passionate. Yeah, at least some people see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
I like the one that's saying he's just open-minded enough to seek out unusual people's lives, but he's also a bit too handsome and presentable.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That said, I think he is excellent, just not great fit for this type of content.
No, he's definitely not a fit for this. Like,
Yeah.
I don't oh my gosh. You have to be able to engage with people, like, neutrally.
Yeah, most definitely.
Oh my gosh, why does this feel like a feminine presenting non-binary person not understanding that gender is a
Yeah,
spectrum and
yeah,
creating a whole theory?
yeah, yeah,
But like you said, you literally said that, but it got cut out.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that little speech he gives at the end, about
Oh
like
my
how,
gosh.
him wrapping it up. Like I had literally said pretty much that the day before, and he just kind of ripped it off and made it
Oh
out
my
as his own.
gosh.
It's like,
Plagiarism.
well, yeah,
Plagiarism.
yeah, really. Um, yeah, I saw him on an interview. Um, I think it was like Joe Politics interview, but kind of like advertising the documentary, and he was saying that
Yeah.
oh, I do think that Sammy is like an actual trans person, but and then proceeds to just shit on this entire community. Like there aren't actual like valid trans people in here. Like his whole angle was that these people aren't actually trans people; they're just cis people pretending or
That's so
facading. And it's like,
annoying.
well, yeah, the one person you actually interview is an actual trans person, and surely that just gives it some kind of credibility. Could you have not picked someone that fits your agenda? Because
Yeah.
I'm sure there's someone out there that does, you know.
Of course there is. Of course. There's so many like edgy people in that server that would give anything to like make some interviewer's day like this. But
Yeah,
like
yeah. Even
they
even,
want
even
to
a
pick real
troll, even
people.
even like even someone that like doesn't even transmax for the benefits. They just do it for a day. It's like that one school teacher who had like the massive tits in Canada, because of like.
Yeah.
Do you hear about this?
I heard about I don't know like the story behind it though.
Yeah, yeah. So like it was this like cis guy, like mid 30s, 40s, kind of like right wing leaning, and then one day he just comes in as trans with like massive like fetishized fake tits and like a wig and
Yeah.
things, kind of like riffing on the fact that like he thought trans people get special treatment, so he just took it to the absolute extreme just to be edgy, and it made like national news.
Yeah.
I mean, in a way, I do
That's
think
so
that's kind of
annoying.
based, but no, just because of the absurdity. Like I feel like
It is kind of
like
based for the absurdity.
you should be able to criticize trans people, like as long as it's fair and it's reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah, like yeah, I feel like uh provided criticism is fair, I don't see what's wrong. Regardless of like how you're treated overall in a society, if you're amongst civilized people. Yeah, I think you should be able to look at people's behavior objectively, as opposed to like
Hmm.
you know, yeah, letting them off because they're like oppressed or whatever.
Yeah. I agree with that. I agree with that. You should be able to like look at people as people, not just as like whatever groups that they happen to fall into.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's like my identity. Like people would label me as a trans person. I don't know. I'm just me. Like it's
Yeah.
yeah. It's
Wait,
like
would you identify as not trans?
I don't know. I mean, like I
Interesting.
use like trans non-binary, but uh, like it's just like the lowest common denominator. It's the closest thing I have in words, as opposed to like what I
Yeah.
actually feel. I don't know.
Well,
Words
it's
words are clunky, man. They don't
words
express
are
they
clunky.
don't express raw thought. They're just what we use as a midpoint. So
Real. Real.
but yeah, I guess I would be trans because I have medicated to get to how I want to feel.
True. Transsexual at the least.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'd say so.
Estrogen is so cool. Or hormones in general are so cool because they can like change the way your DNA works. I'm sure you already know this,
Well,
but
yeah,
like
yeah.
I just find it like
Well, I've experienced it.
so cool. Yeah, yeah. It's based. Hmm.
Sorry, I'm not really good at like um uh spearheading conversation. I very much need to be prompted, but that's just me being like socially awkward.
No, it's
My
okay. It's
apologies.
okay. I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to
That's
think of
fine.
like questions because I don't want to be like too proby. Sometimes I feel like bad being like too proby,
Oh
but
no, no, you go ahead. Not to put the pressure on, so think of a question.
this feels kind of disrespectful and harmful to actual trans people. I wonder if they mean the documentary or if they mean you.
I think yeah, maybe both. Maybe both. But then yeah, I think they are trans, but I don't think focusing on the most toxic way someone can frame their transition is the helpful way in an environment that's actually trying to demonize trans people. Um, I mean, they don't really cover the space, like as I say there, like
Real, yeah.
you know, um, particularly trans feminine people. Trans grow up with that, you internalize it, it can be easier to trick yourself into saying you're transitioning for other reasons. Well, yeah, well, like, I mean, is this not a valid reason?
No, it is. It is
Like,
100%.
Yeah. I mean, just because dysphoria may not be like the primary reason to transition, like, it doesn't mean it's not a reason. Um, I mean, that wasn't my case. But then again, I couldn't really like quantify what dysphoria was. I just felt anxious all the time. I didn't know that was the reason why. Just because I hadn't really considered it. It was only till after, um, yeah, after like socially transitioning a little bit, I was like, you know what? Yeah, that was actually it. That was dysphoria. I wasn't just being
Mm,
anxious. But then
yeah.
there's no guide or like, you know, there's no real resources to like check yourself, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of understand why, you know, trans people aren't that many. So I understand why it's not a mainstream thing, but yeah, it's definitely a necessary thing.
Agreed. Agreed. What do you think about that one? Would you rock some asymmetrical bangs?
Yeah, no, I am planning on getting a haircut. In fact, I was going to get a haircut this week. It's my birthday tomorrow. So
Oh my gosh,
yeah,
happy early birthday.
yeah. Well, I was going to treat myself. I should have really like I've done two of these now. Like post the release of this thing. Um, yeah, really should have got a haircut before coming here, but oh well.
Did you wait? You said this is their second one?
Yeah, yeah. So I did one for like the main TRANSMAXXING
Oh, you talked
channel.
with Vint.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, well,
That means I'm slow. I was trying to be the first one to break the story.
yeah, but like yeah, they didn't really have many questions. Like yeah. Um I feel like you've been a way more um better host, I think. No offense to them, but
Good. Yeah. Well, I'm glad. I try to make people feel comfortable when I'm interviewing them because I don't know. Everybody has such an interesting story, and like I want to hear about the interesting things that happen in other people's lives.
yeah. Well, yeah, that comes across.
Peace. What do you think I should title this? I'm trying to think of like something clickbaity, but also like accurate.
Um hmm.
And I'm curious if you have any ideas or like if you've thought of anything now that you've
Uh
like, because I'm sure you've been percolating over this for like a day since it was released.
yeah. Um hmm. I mean, they've labeled me as an incel when I'm not. So
I know, so
I would
I feel
prefer you
wrong.
not to use the term incel because
Yeah.
that's not a term I identify with and also just not true.
Of course, of course.
Hmm.
Can I call you Transmaxer? Can I say
Sure, yeah,
Transmaxer
that's fine.
Sammy?
Well, yeah, well, like, it's annoying because Ben introduced when he was on that interview, he introduces it, transmaxing, riffing off of like looks maxing, and like he has no criticism for looks maxing. It's fine if you want to like boost your appearance, but God forbid you
Yeah.
boost your appearance by changing your
Oh my
gender
god.
presentation. It's like it's essentially the same thing.
Yeah. I've always said that like transmaxing is just looks maxing plus social maxing plus like personality maxing.
Yeah,
Plus
personality
plus like
maxing. I've not
med
heard that.
maxing. Oh my gosh, plus med maxing. Yeah, when you like optimize your personality, I don't know. I'm just too chronically online and I see people use these terms unironically.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, I'm just gonna become a better person in personality max. And it's
Yeah,
like, okay,
yeah.
good luck. Good luck,
That's
dude.
such a yeah. I mean, I've seen people like use that ironically. Um,
Maybe that's the issue. Maybe they are using it
I'll
ironically,
try
and I'm just like,
ironically, and then
I
end
just
up using
believe
it
them.
normally, anyways. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, that is so annoying. I hate when people do that because a lot of people do that. They'll like promote looks maxing and then be like, but you can't looks max to be more feminine. You can only looks max to be a Chad alpha.
Yeah. Do you know that was part of the reason I um went through with transitioning. I do you know who Kevin Samuels is?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So his whole mantra was like be the best man you can be, right? You like
Oh
you
my
gotta like
gosh.
tick all the boxes, you know, get a personal trainer, have a lot of money, do all this bullshit. And I thought,
Yeah.
yeah, well, that's a good idea, but then I'm probably closer to being like the ideal archetypal woman. So I might as well follow the same principle, but just in the complete opposite direction.
Being a woman is being the best man that I can be.
Well, no, I was being the best woman I could be. But
True. True.
essentially, like, well, like, you know, I still maximize my money. I still, you know, went running and things. Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
ran 10K the other week. It was yeah, it was quite
True.
yeah. Um
It's kind of no. Sorry, Pleb.
well yeah,
I
well it's
didn't mean to cut you off.
yeah, well it's like um it was just better for it was just better for me to go that way. Just because it worked for me. I don't know what to say.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm definitely glad it works. I find that hilarious because I also will listen to like I hate to say like alpha male advice videos sometimes, but like if you really just ignore the like become the most masculine aspects of it, it's pretty good advice, you know? It's like
Yeah.
focus on like making your life better, exercise,
Yeah,
get
yeah.
your money up.
Do you know do you know who Balkan Gaines is? I kind of
No, I don't know who
oh
Vulcan
my
Games
god.
is.
Yeah. Okay, so like he's someone I kind of hate watch. Um, but yeah, he makes like really like obtuse yeah, like ultra like red pill um masculine videos that are basically like it's almost like satire. Like there's it's just really like just shitting on women.
Yeah,
And yeah, yeah, it's just really like horrible and obtuse. I just think that's like really funny that someone from that community can watch that and not see any problem with it. Just yeah, just because of how absurd the messaging and presentation is. Um,
real.
yeah,
That's so real. Oh my gosh. They really do give their own communities such a big pass when it comes to like harmful behavior. And then they love to be like, "Oh, but those transgenders." And it's like, "Leave us alone."
yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that is pretty hilarious. Okay, you said it's your birthday tomorrow. Can I ask how old you're turning?
25. So it's not
Oh,
over just
nice.
yet.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have anything exciting planned or anything fun? I know you mentioned the haircut, but other than that.
I'm going out drinking yeah, nothing too special. Not really one for birthdays, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm quite low key.
yeah. Do you go out with like? What, this
I'm
might
going
be
out
a
with
dumb
other people. I'm
question,
not going to
but
go out drinking alone.
well, oh my gosh, I assumed you were going out with other people, but
Yeah,
I was asking more so because I'm not familiar with like the I don't know, climate in the UK.
yeah,
Not like weather climate, but like people
like
climate.
social climate.
Are there like queer bars? Do you go to like regular bar? I hate to say regular bars, but like
Yeah, no, there is a bar that me and my friends.
straight bars?
Well, like, I mean, because of our group, we've essentially turned it into a gay bar. Uh, I mean, we got quite a diverse crowd in there.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, one of the bars we quite liked, um, is going under new management, so we've kind of been like moving to like next door.
yeah.
But yeah, yeah, it's quite a nice place. Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Nice.
yeah, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, the staff in there are really friendly, and yeah, we get along well. So
Nice. Cool. Well, I can't think of anything else. And well, actually, let me ask this one more time. Is there anything else you want me to ask you? Anything else you can think of? Anything else that you want to like talk about before we close this out? Because I'm out of questions and I'm turning it back over to you
yeah,
if you have
yeah.
anything.
Yeah, just reaffirming, I am a trans person. Um, yeah, I'm not trolling, I promise. Um, yeah, yeah. I don't know. I feel like I've covered all bases, really.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh well.
Awesome.
Also, appreciate that. Like in the filming, yeah, I've only been on like HRT for uh what 5 months maybe. Like a lot of people were commenting that like I don't pass at all, and it's like for 5 months you can't expect miracles. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Please acknowledge that I'm a work in progress. I know I don't pass at the moment, but give me like a year, and I'll be okay.
I actually thought you looked really good in the documentary. I don't know. People are so critical of trans people, but I thought you looked
Well,
good.
it depends from scene to scene. I look okay when I'm at dinner, but yeah, some of the icing
That
is
was
not
when the
great.
makeup was done, right?
Yeah, yeah. Although
Yeah,
I think it was a bit much. Um, it was a
I thought she did a really good
Oh
job.
yeah, no, it's nice makeup, but it was more than what I'd usually go for. Also, like,
Yeah.
I thought I was getting my hair cut, but they just said, "Oh no, you're getting it styled." That's kind of why it looks a bit crazy with the comb over. It's because I
Yeah.
thought they were gonna cut it. I thought they were gonna change it up, but no, they're just restyling it. And I kind of had to make,
Oh my gosh.
and they pay all this money for a stylist. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna have you do nothing. So I just had to kind of make something up on the spot. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why it turned out not so great.
What was that? Can I actually ask about that? Because I felt like it was so awkward because they were like talking to her and she was like, well, like she was talking about like her experience with womanhood. And then
Yeah.
like, I just felt like that was probably so awkward. Like, what if she like messes up your makeup because she doesn't like what you say or
Well,
something?
yeah,
Like,
she seemed pretty open-minded, and yeah, I'm actually quite surprised how well recepted, how how well she received it, I guess. Yeah. Um, yeah, because they hadn't like briefed her or anything. She would look like, well, I mean, I guess that's maybe like hairdressers for you. They have quite good chat, but
yeah.
yeah, uh, yeah, it was quite a strange format. Like they see, like had they have just kept it at me in my house, just talking about the server and the community, because they try to like fit this thing of like doll me up, make me look like a woman, then send me on a date, and then ask my poor boyfriend,
Are
what
you
do you
and him
think?
still together, by the way?
Yeah. This is his place,
Nice.
so
Oh my gosh, congratulations to you and him.
yeah. We have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. That whole like format just seemed kind of forced, I guess. And
Yeah.
oh man, the dresses they picked out, man. I mean, sure, they have to work with what's available, but it was like a boutique place with just no options at all.
Oh
Um,
my gosh.
yeah. I mean, the dress from the video I'm currently wearing, I had it restyled. I could maybe show it off a bit if you'd like.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Hold on. So like, yeah, I got it changed into like a skirt.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a two-piece thing instead of like,
That's really cute.
yeah. Well, yeah, I thought that looked a bit better. With like ruffles and things. Yeah, like it's a little bit frilly, but it's not overly so.
Yeah.
Kind of way more subtle. Whereas I feel like with the dress, it was like just a bit much. Felt like a suit of armor.
Yeah. What did your boyfriend? Okay, oh, sorry. I said I was out of questions, but now we've opened this new can of worms. What did your boyfriend think about the process? Like, how did they, excuse me, how did they loop him in? Did they like,
Well, yeah, they just asked me if they wanted to speak, if he wanted to be part of the documentary. And
yeah?
with like a bit of convincing, he agreed. You know, I saw quite a funny comment, saying, Ross knocking on the door, acting like Chris Hansen's gonna come out at him. uh, yeah. But
Oh
he
my
was just so
gosh. That's
nervous.
pretty,
Yeah. Like, and he hadn't been briefed or anything.
understandably.
He literally like had no idea what was waiting for him when he got through the door. So that's why
Yeah.
he's a little bit cagey and a little bit nervous. Poor thing.
Oh my gosh. And how long have you guys been together? Am I allowed to ask that?
Yeah. Oh, that's a good question. I think just slightly after, I think it was the June of last year.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, so literally like right as I started
You knew him for
HIT.
like 3 months.
Yeah,
Like, you said filming was in September,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I'd known him for 3 months. Yeah, but you know we've had
Oh
like
my gosh.
quite intense relationships. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
well, yeah. At his job, he's like the LGBT pride representative at his work. So we thought it'd be a good idea.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. He works in
That's
a
awesome. Yeah.
he's
They should have mentioned that. Oh my gosh,
yeah,
these are all things that.
yeah, yeah. You know, they could have like scored some brownie points. You know, there's like doing a profession that supports the country. It's not just some, you know, cagey chaser.
Yeah. They kind of did try and like.
Well, yeah,
I
they
feel
just
like they
gave
tried to
no
like.
context to my life or his. They literally made it like transmaxing is my life when it's just
Oh my gosh,
yeah, it's just one of
that's brutal
yeah,
of them.
yeah.
That's
I mean, I
brutal.
get it's a transmaxing documentary. And I'm meant to be explaining what the movement is, but yeah, you could like yeah. Well, yeah, I think that's what it is. It's that they couldn't really discern whether it was an interview about me or whether it was an interview about the movement in general. I feel like they should
Yeah,
have really done one or the other. If it's about well,
I
and
agree.
if it's about the movement in general, why didn't they talk to you or Vince or yeah, well yeah, Vin would probably be better because they wrote the damn manifesto. If they want to like question all the weird like yeah
On the one
testimonials and
hand,
things, it's like
on the one hand, I feel like it would be good for them to talk to Vent, but on the other hand, I feel like
well
every time Vent makes it into a video, people just complain about how they can't understand anything he's saying.
oh I struggle yeah but you know
So did other people. If you look at the comments on their YouTube, it literally all of them are like, I have no clue what this guy is saying.
I think well that's the thing. Vint tried to reach out to them. Like
Did he?
he spoke to one of the researchers,
Mm-hmm.
and they had like a voice call, and he recorded the voice call, and they didn't know it was being recorded, and then like they like proper shat themselves when they found out. Like they deliberately distanced themselves from Vint. So
Why?
well yeah well you know if they want to do credible journalism, um
They don't want somebody that's going to record everything.
well yeah I mean I should have really done that, but I don't know whether I would have got away with it.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
hindsight, I probably should have. I should have kept a record of everything.
Yeah. Especially if it's digital, because you can just do OBS and it's like, it's a secret.
Well,
No, nobody knows.
I mean, like, no, I meant like live while recording.
Oh yeah. Oh, like a mic, like a
Yeah,
mic
or
on.
just like on my phone or whatever. Although,
Yeah.
I don't know how much of it would have picked up, but we
Yeah. You could have made your own expose about it.
yeah.
Turn it into like a 4-hour
Yeah, Channel
documentary.
4 exposed.
And then you'd have 2 IMDb credits.
Yeah. Damn, I really
Oh my
missed a trick there.
Maybe next time. Maybe for part 2 when they want to do the follow up.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't think they'll do a follow-up. I don't think they care enough.
I doubt it. It was probably just for the sensationalist views, and they're getting the shares that they want. I've seen it shared on Twitter. I saw it shared on Discord. I saw it shared on multiple Discords actually. Like, I don't know. I'm sure it's being shared through gender critical spaces. Like, they're getting the views they want,
Yeah.
but also I don't know.
Well,
Definitely knowing.
well, I was more concerned about like how it was received amongst trans people than I was like the general public. Like as long as trans people know that I'm not, you know, how they're making me out to be, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Because you know, people are going to be ignorant to trans people regardless. Like I'm talking like normie cis people. So
Yeah.
so I'm fine. I'm fine with trans people knowing what is up.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Because that's what I was quite concerned about. It's like this being damaging to people who are actually concerned about this. Like I think a lot of normal people will be outraged by this and then move on to the next thing. So
Yeah. Hopefully not. Hopefully they can use their critical thinking a little bit and realize that they should not be enraged by this.
yeah.
Likely they won't. Likely they will just get enraged by this. But
Yeah.
they should use their thinkers and not.
Damn, I wish I had coffee.
Oh, it's not. It's just water. But
Oh, still.
I wish I had coffee too. But I just have some water with me. Do you have anything else exciting going on for the rest of the day? Because it's 5 hours ahead, right? 6 hours ahead of me.
Yeah, well, it's
It's
like
like
quarter to 4.
5 o'clock ish. Quarter to 4. I see.
So
So do you have
still,
anything exciting for the rest of the day?
probably just play games, really.
Oh, what do you like to play?
Well, I've been speedrunning State of Decay 2 at the moment.
What is it?
State of Decay 2. It's a zombie.
State of Decay 2. Oh, I haven't played that one.
Yeah.
Is it fun?
It's okay. It's a bit buggy. But yeah,
Mm.
there's like no world record set for like the hardest difficulty. So I'm trying to put in like a semi-decent time. So I can
Ooh.
say I'm a record holder for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Do you have to record your speedruns?
Oh yeah, obviously. Yeah, with a timer and everything. I used to have a couple world records, but they've been beaten. I'm like second place on like a couple games. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. Yeah, you know,
Wow.
like I'd say I'm pretty decent at games. I've been to like semi-professional tournaments for fighting games and like
Yeah.
yeah, a couple driving games I've got speedrun records for. So yeah,
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You know, I'm always surprised. I've met so many trans people that have gaming world records.
yeah,
So
yeah,
shout out trans people.
yeah. Well, they say like there might be a link between trans people and hyper intelligent people. I don't know whether that's like bullshit or not,
Yeah.
but I think you have to be like a little bit productive in order to like organize medication and things.
True.
So
True. Cool.
what's your opinion on
Wait.
rappers?
Reppers?
Yeah,
Like people that repress? Like, what, can you elaborate a little? Just like in general?
just in general, yeah.
I don't know. They exist.
Alright. Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like a lot of things can cause people to
Yeah,
repress,
well,
you
yeah, it's
know?
just interesting because like the comments were saying, "Oh, well, you know, maybe you shouldn't have been trans. Maybe you should have just like, well, yeah, gone the traditional Kevin Samuels route,
Oh
and
my
just double down."
gosh.
And like, I
I don't know.
like I made that calculation regardless of like how I felt. Like I saw it as a variable, but I removed it just to see, and I really think
Yeah.
that was like a ceiling of how happy I could be like that.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately like what finalized my decision, because it's like what they didn't specify again is that like they didn't mention the fact I'm autistic and that I see the world through
Yeah.
like a logical lens. So it makes much more sense for
Yeah.
things to be put on paper than to go on a whim and be like, oh, I feel like a woman in a man's body or whatever. Like, what does that even feel like? Um,
Agreed. Agreed.
and something I just remembered, when they're going through the reasons for like main benefits for transmaxing, right? They list off a couple, but it's like reason 9, reason 13, reason 17. And it's like they just skip.
They always
They
mention the
they
car
skip.
insurance one.
Yeah. It's the bottom one. It's the last one. It's like, how can you give this a credible look if you're just gonna skip over the first like 5, 10 reasons?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Oh my gosh. No, I don't know. I feel a lot of like compassion for rippers, I think. And I can see why historically people may have needed to repress for like safety or like just like kind of lack of access to like the ability to transition. But like in the modern day, I really don't see too many reasons why people would be like hindered from that. You know, like
oh, well, I guess I should really like specify better the question. Like
yeah.
rappers that like are kind of like in denial about being trans, basically.
Oh, I feel a lot of compassion for them.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yep. And as long as they're not actively going out of their way to make other trans people's lives worse, it's kind of, it is what it is. It's their lives.
Yeah.
One example of this might
Yeah.
be like Isaac Uncooked. Um, well, I don't- actually I shouldn't bring up Isaac because Isaac is retransitioning now, but for a long time, Isaac was repping.
Mm.
And yeah, I don't know. I feel a lot of compassion because I know those people are just going through a lot of, like mentally, right? And they're fighting those demons. Just because they deny outwardly that they're trans doesn't mean that they're not thinking those things constantly inside.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely feel compassion, but or like Ventology even. Excuse me. I feel like he's kind of a repper.
Yeah.
But then he's also, I don't know, he doesn't necessarily deny that he would have transitioned. He just says that he waited too long.
Yeah. Which is a
Like
little
that's it.
sad.
Yeah, it is sad. It is sad. And like he's talked about having dysphoria before, and like he's talked about like I don't know. I mean, he talks about his superior genetics as well, and that's why he wants to be a man. But like he also does talk about gender dysphoria and like how he would have transitioned had he started younger.
Yeah.
So that's what I kind of think transmaxing is like his, I'm not gonna say his repressor manifesto, but like it's like his version of getting the feelings out,
Yeah.
if that makes
His
sense.
outlet.
Yeah, his outlet. That's yeah. And that whole server is kind of that for him, I feel like.
Yeah. It that because I didn't know that about Vent. I didn't know there were, I just thought
Yeah.
they were just a person that was really interested in it. I didn't know they had I didn't know like their story. So
Yeah.
that's quite beautiful, really. That they
Yeah.
because like very few people would be able to like have the time and energy to put so many resources out there. Like that server has helped so many people.
Yeah. And it's conflicting because on the one hand, I do agree that that server helps people, but on the other hand, Ventology himself does have some problematic viewpoints. Uh,
Well, yeah, but it's
like
like uh you can like find a group helpful, but then not necessarily be like consumed by the group completely. It's like being part of a
Yeah.
it's like being part of a running club, right? It'll help your fitness,
Yeah.
but you're not going to be like ultra try hard with like all the gear
True. True.
and
True. True.
like, you know,
Yeah.
and like take supplements every day and, you know, do like some crazy workout fucking protein
Yeah.
diet thing. You know, you just want it to help your fitness, you know? I feel like, yeah,
True.
you can abstract the things that you want from that server, um,
Yeah.
without being completely, or at least I could, at least. You know,
No. No. No.
a
I
lot of
don't.
people label these spaces as if, you know, you can't do that. Like once you're in, you're in. It's like a cult, basically.
Yeah. I definitely agree with you that you can like pick and choose. I think I don't know. Something that mentally weighs on me a little bit is that I promoted it so heavily initially. Because again, I agree that like it's great to have a community space where you can learn how to like do all these things. But then like I don't know. I realized that a lot of the people that I end up sending there end up getting a lot of brainworms from being there. And then I feel really guilty
Mm.
every single time. Uh, especially when like they don't fall within the super narrow scope of what Ventology says it's a good idea to transition for.
Yeah.
Like, if you're older than 25, he says don't transition. If you're like, I don't know, if you're the wrong height, he says don't transition. There's so many things that he's like, don't
I
transition,
mean,
don't transition.
well,
And it's
I think
like,
those things are kind of arbitrary, and I think it's like on an individual basis. I mean, sure, like maybe as a general guideline, like there may be some truth to that, but I don't know. It depends. It depends why you're doing it, and it depends like,
yeah,
you know, you can still have a pleasant, enjoyable life and present in a feminine way, even if you transition at a later date. I just think maybe Vince is quite like an elitist almost, like a trans
yeah.
elitist. Um,
Well, my personal headcanon is that he's so strict on it because if he wasn't, he would have no reason to
not to
not
transition,
transition.
yeah.
Yeah. But that's actually part of the reason why I am like more critical of this space now is because I feel like having a trans space run by a, for all intents and purposes, actively cis male, um, is kind of harmful in that regard. Of like, might go to him for like support, right? Because they're like budding transgender people. And then he's like, "Don't transition. You're gonna be a fail. Oh, you're gonna be a failure, right?" And then it's like, "Oh my god!" But that's kind of why I like this like Trannerland space because that one's run by Lyra,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I really like Lyra. I feel like she's a good role model and like good example of like a trans person.
Well, I made friends in the TRANSMAXXING server that weren't part of like their little committee thing.
Yeah,
Like
the Polar Bro.
yeah, yeah. I yeah,
I was on the Bullet Bro at one point.
really? Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like when I'm telling you, I really advocated for it heavily at
Yeah,
one
yeah.
point, and that's why like. Anyways, so but what were you saying about like you made friends that were like not in the Polar Bro?
Well, yeah, well, like people that just come to the server for like the same
Yeah.
reasons I did. It's like, you know, although they have um this kind of mission statement for what transmaxing is,
Mhm.
regardless of their like aims or how they want to like engineer the server, it's ultimately the people within the server that kind of dictate the overall message that's being available to new people,
Yeah.
you know. Um yeah, and you know, I've made some good friends. That's how I ended up in Tranalands because of someone I knew from that
Yeah.
server. So
Yeah.
it's like, okay, yeah, maybe maybe the owners may be harmful, but it's like ultimately they're attracting trans people there, and if you're there for
Yeah.
those people instead of like,
No.
you know,
I did definitely agree with you 100%. And often that is what I like fall back on is like it's ultimately a good community with some harmful like leadership structure. Um but that is part of the reason why I like Trainerland so much. Is because I feel like that is a healthy leadership structure or more healthy leadership structure, but also a good place to meet trans people who are going to give you good advice and like I don't know. It feels like a very like trans friendly space, whereas sometimes transmaxing feels a little bit like, I hate to say like objectifying, but like he also lets chasers in a lot.
Yeah.
So like I don't know. He lets people in that are like there to like eat the trans women. Well, eat is the eat might not be the best
Assume.
descriptor, but yeah, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like it's a place where he's inviting both predators and prey. Not to call trans women prey, but like it's
Yeah.
kind of
No,
what the
I know what you're getting
environment
at.
feels like.
Well, yeah, that's why I say
Yeah,
I'm not really that active in that. And the
yeah,
people that I do talk to is like just normal trans people. So
yeah. I definitely like a lot of the people there, 100%. And I can even think of a lot of the Politburo members who are trans women who like I've talked to in the past and who I really like a lot, and I feel like are passing on valuable advice.
oh yeah,
It's really like
definitely.
Vent is probably my biggest issue with the whole server. Just like the cis man running it. And you know, I tried to coup it in the past, but for reasons out of my control, it failed. But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Well, I don't know, you're doing quite well.
yeah, I don't know. I hope that I'm not accidentally passing brainworms on to anybody, and that's all I'll say. I definitely have a lot of anxiety about that, but
Well, I don't know. I feel like you're probably doing better than them, objectively.
and not passing on brainworms?
No, just in general, in terms of like putting your message out there.
Hmm.
And like you said, we need more trans creators. It's like good that you're representing.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I try my best. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
Ugh.
know. You seem quite like anxious about that. It's like you're doing a good job.
Sorry, I don't mean to like let my anxiety bleed through and like I'm not trying to
No,
like ask for the
honestly, like
emotional labor here. Thank you. Thank you. I do just get anxious.
don't
But
we all?
I yeah, it comes with the territory. I'm actually also autistic. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. So like
Yeah.
I am constantly anxious and it's kind of just an internal state that I feel 24/7.
Mm.
Just for fun though.
Yeah, relatable.
Yeah. But yeah. Um yeah. Wait, you said you have a gaming channel, right?
Yeah, yeah. I post
Do you want me
clips
to
and
link to
things.
it? Or do you not want me to
Sure,
link to it?
sure. If you want to, um,
I can. Or if you do make your like trans
trans
content, are you
related
going to put it
content.
on the
I'll probably make a new channel for that, just because I
Okay.
think people will be very confused where the
Yeah.
channel has gone.
It if you do make that, I can link both of them or I can just link that one. I'm just trying to think. I want to make sure that like I'm sending people your direction as well for this if they want to like find you cuz
Yeah,
you're kind of a hard person to find, Sammy. You know, I know I found you relatively quickly, but it's
yeah,
only because I'm in so many spaces that are like deep chronically online.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't really have like a social media like that, but that's because I wasn't gonna like I haven't posted pictures in years, just because
Yeah.
I'm a work in progress. I don't want to you know present myself like half baked.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, yeah. Once everything's all cleaned up, I'll probably we'll have like Instagram or something. But
Okay. Yeah, I can definitely send any links your way. And then I don't know, I'm trying to think of anything.
oh, is this live? Not live,
What
is
do you
it?
mean?
Is it? Is it?
Am I live?
Yeah. Well, no.
I should not be live.
Yeah. No, no, you're not.
Oh my gosh, you scared me. No, we are
No,
not
no, no.
live. We're
Okay,
just
cool, cool,
recording.
cool. Okay.
We're just recording.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, like,
Generally,
maybe you could ask someone in the chat, but there is no chat.
oh, no. Sometimes I like will invite people to like watch it in the Discord. But because it was so last minute, I just didn't even put anything out about it.
Yeah,
It was just like, okay, we'll just do it. And then but yeah, I don't like to do it live on like YouTube or Twitch because then I always feel like it just leaves too many opportunities for one slip ups, but also just like trolls or like
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
yeah, not that you would troll, but like I don't always talk to individuals who are quite as pleasant as you are.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, I don't know. I've talked to some quite unsavory individuals.
yeah, fair.
Yeah, so can't do those live.
Yeah,
Anyways, sorry. I don't know what to say. I'm out of
yeah. No, we
my
can call it if you want to.
my brain is faltering, but I really do appreciate you talking with me and like
Oh, it's-
coming to I don't know, set the story straight.
yeah.
Um, I'll just ask it one more time. Any last minute things that you want to say right before we close up? I know every time we say this,
Um,
we talk more, but
yeah. I think that would be everything.
okay.
Um, I guess like maybe look at the manifesto yourself. Um, I mean, I'd say read all of it, but you'd be there all day. Like, yeah, like there is some truth to it, but yeah, don't take it at face value like that guy did.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. If you are going to try and consume the Transmaxing Manifesto, actually read it. Don't just listen to people talk about it because they're gonna lie about all of it.
Oh yeah,
Um, or like they're gonna cherry pick it. And if you read it, it actually makes more sense than you would be led to believe.
yeah, yeah. That's a good way of putting
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. But anyways, thank you so much for talking with me. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, I will do.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Okay, I'm gonna end this.